After 15 years, me there. Yo, Brooklyn, Barclays. This weekend, you know, the celebration begins. It's gonna be a real independence. It's gonna be a fanfare up in here. So New Year, finally, we are here. Barclays, Darkleys.
And if Russian want Aki Meji, we tell her, bro, we never get the beat. We never want the beat, we never link for the beat, you see me? I just do way that I do the youth panel like me even say that. I never know my business still, so I should even go sorry, but you see me? Man, I tell her, say, yo, I want to jump on the beat and the dog go out there, dog make himself vulnerable, but I tell him one boss, you left pot on fire, dog. My almost 40 bad, man. You see me, bro? So I don't know that, bro. I know about the predecessor Disney, bro. This is for you, them in a dance, for wise up. Yeah, no cap. Fuck that old ass beat.
I have pain and him friend them can't stop soul cry. Bad mind, I have pain. Bad mind, batty boy, I have pain. You can't stop me, son.
Let me tell you something. See, after today, I don't want nobody tell me nothing about Alkaline. Alkaline are the worst artists. We can't do no interview. I say, don't you look a 9-year-old, I say, do the interview on TV the other day. 100 times more intelligent than Alkaline. Alkaline them a fool. Alkaline a fool. I say, man, organize his own interview, write his own question them, and he can't answer none of them. And one question the man answer when Cliff Hughes ask him if he have no youth. And the man say no. So I'm a 31 and I'm a gelding. The new name for Alkaline is Alkaline, a gelding line. Brother, you not ready to youth. You not ready. That's why most of the officer your big guns, you know. And that's why I go this side of JA officer rifle run out pan them and squeeze out their ends, you know. That's why JA have to run out pan your mother for this year and big guns, man. Boy, you know no style, man. And I go say something to on the pre this. On the pre what me I say. I'm going to research. Alkaline is the only dancehall artist where me never yet see post a picture with him and a woman. And look how Vendetta fans him and cuss me. I want to prove me wrong. I want to put one picture under that video where Alkaline a pose with that woman and post that. The man that even have a picture in my only dancehall artist in my history will never post a picture with him and a woman yet. We have question that boy there, you know. Me say, man, the interview I worse. Me tell you, me can't listen to interview. And me I say, what is me really take my time and listen to? You ain't ready, man. That's why I go beside them and run out pan you and done your career. You not ready, man. And the Vendetta look a fool for them. I go say I best interview that. Brother, you not ready, brother. Kerry, me lose half hour now. I really that you no waste no time go set up. That no make no sense, Kerry. That no make no sense. None of them more interview. The people them not go missing. None of them more interview. The artist too dunce, man. Dunce and dark.
The one will never get an interview from Alkaline. Never, ever. In our lifetime again. So, on the road down that jam, on look at words, them like say, yo, people not educated and have sense. Maybe some look at people will follow on not talk about. But on allow the youth will never go on our next interview again. The whole of night to fix them for go beard. I come like them a beard. The 3 girls, them and the 1 boy, come like them a beard. When you start beard on yourself, man, before you even come on the show too. I know one artist tell me, say, yo, then go up on the night to fix, you know. I know the surrounding of them place. Frownsy like they not clean up the place or tidy up the place. Frownsy as blood clot. An artist ain't go around on the night to fix. I mean, I call the artist name and they say, yo, I one of the frownsy set of people that never grown. Saying, one of the beard when I go interview bumbuckler people, man, rather than the whole of them. One of the beard, man. Clean up on yourself, man. All the female them on the beard, man. Brush on the teeth. Female mouth nothing stink.
It's only a fool quick to take side, yeah? Feel the devil not have good intention, you feel God not have bad intention. You feel like say God. You feel like say God say, devil, please leave heaven, please. God has him gonna fire to over the devil and say, pussy left out of this. God are bad people, no man, body can't trick me. The devil is so wicked and run the devil out of heaven, you're almost better than the devil. If you don't can blood clot trick me, I bother man talk.
So me I watch a video with Lisa Hyper, burn out Ayatien. So she has say, Ayatien I tell teacher,
say fi be careful who him help. So you catch feelings in a IoT and say, be careful who you help. Teacher be careful who him help. Anyway, yeah go say, IoT and who you help. Who you help. Batty boy IoT and who you help. Lisa, why you carry that far for you diss the man when the man never ever call your name? Then you got as far as saying that last week you and teacher stood on and you and teacher actually a chat IoT. So you got tell me, say Lisa I. Teacher no have nothing else to do but sit down and chat IoT with dirty mouth you. So you tell me, say teacher no have a house to go buy. Teacher no have a show to go do. So teacher got chat artist with you, but can't bring you upon them stage. So Lisa Hype, you are gonna say, IoT and bad mind and in can't stop soul cry. What is soul cry? What is a soul cry? Because I don't see the song out there trending. It is not going nowhere because of your negativity. If you want to come out in a dancehall and be back an artist, stop mind people business out here. Artists can bumbuckle talk what they want to talk. Lisa, if you have somebody, you come this the man call the man batty man and all kind of thing like the man fuck you. The man fuck you in your ass. Easy for them bumbuckle talk the man. Me tired of some of the man with them fuckery man. The man even see you when he make him talk. How much other people are the help? What you mean if the man help nobody? You know who the man a help? You know who the man a help? I attend the out here. You know what? I train you to say. I attend a train, you know. Had the forest world me a stay from them. Hey. The man set me a walk with a chip. One for me shoulder, one for me hip. As them slip. Hey, wait man. The world full of shit. It come like you real people, them dead and gone. Left some bumbo hole boy. You are one of the bumbo hole them we left boy, Lisa Hype. Nobody now use you. If Adi did not go use you, you would have been on the show. Not there, so I come talk about. And me and Adi stood on a chat you last week. Like Adi start rap fractal now. And that you try put him on as a man we go call and say, yo, Lisa, you don't know, say, boy, IoT and this and IoT. What the bomber clat you come talk about? Teacher go sit on a chat man with you. The man now use you nowhere. Don't worry about Old Spice and sit down on the man and whine off in cocky. Oh, did you see the kiss? To blood.
And when I come out and say I will always and forever agree with Kartel, I will always and forever agree with him when he said this. He's not responsible for raising your children. You are. And I agree with him 100% because Kartel's daughter is on her way to become a surgeon. She's on her way to become a surgeon. And that's what a good parent does. They invest in their children's education. That's what good parents actually do. Kartel is not required to filter his style of music to accommodate your children. Those are your kids. I don't care if you can control what they listen to. I don't care if you can control how they behave. I don't care. They are your kids. They are your responsibility. That's, you had them. You take up the onus of growing them. He knows how he's growing his kids. And I've always heard Spice and Kartel and even certain artists come out and say their children don't listen to their music. Are you crazy? Their children are not exposed to the content that they put out on the media, but you don't have a problem with your child being exposed to it? You don't see that there's a problem there? There's some issue there? You realize the Kartel set boundaries for his children, especially his daughter. He sets standards for his kids, and that's what y'all need to start doing. But tell myself, so when me drop all three of my penny them, the whole of them have to go university, them don't have a choice. They have no choice but to go because I am their mother and I said so. You have to go to university, and if you decide in your mind that you want to become a prostitute, you shall be an educated one. I'm not stop you from becoming one, but you're gonna go to school and study entrepreneurship and then you go sell your front, if that's what you want to do. But as for me and my house, you go do what I tell you to do, or you come out. Kartel daughter don't need to work on a day in her life. She doesn't need to work. She doesn't need to go to university. She don't need to study. Our father have money. Our father can leave her a whole estate. But guess what? Guess what? Our father ensures that she have an education. What if all of this lapse? What if tomorrow him not have it? Then what? Then what do you do? I'm in a business when nobody wants them. My opinion, I forget an education, a solid education, because I said so. It's as simple as that. And congratulations to his daughter. She's doing excellent. She's really doing excellent. And I can see them have a really good relationship. And I'm so proud of Kartel. I'm genuinely proud of him. Him set standards in Pitney and him ensures.
Bro, Vybz Kartel, watch you know? Yeah, me general. For your generation will come out, right? Bro, me can tell you this as a follower of the Gully Gaza generation. You see that generation, yeah? Alkaline and no nigga for you fuck around with, bro. Me I tell you, dog. Right now, the ball game was a 4-0. All I know, no man, bro. Killer. Yeah, dog. Your dog now run a camp like how you run a Gaza camp. Your dog run a cult. It's a two different things go on. Two different operations go on that take place in a dancehall right now. In a dancehall fan base, bro. You notice how Popcorn really trouble the dog. You notice how Massacre not really enough up in the dog. You notice how Squash them not really play with it. Bro, just come around and observe what really take place. I know a man for you play with. In that generation, ya dog. Bro, I wrong not that generation, ya, bro. That generation, ya, a youths, bro. Them are Alkaline, bro. I feed them God. No matter which artist them listen. Them we defend Alkaline to we ground. I know the youth for you play with, my friend. You see me? Focus on your money, focus on your businesses, focus on your family. Nobody come around with your fuckery.
Yo, you see sometime in a life when them try to join you. I mean I say this because of Vybz Kartel. You see sometime in a life when them try to join you, God allow them to carry you under the water. Yeah man, God allow them to carry you under the water. And then when them think them have you, then him come down there and rescue you. And when he rescue you, him not just bring you above the water. Him bring you above the stars. And allow your light to shine bright so the world can see it. A lot of people think that prison was the ending of Vybz Kartel. A lot of people think that that's where Vybz Kartel's story ended. In a prison, him now come out. And Kartel come out of prison. And within a year, less than 1 year, the amount of things where the man achieve and the greatness where the man do as a dancehall artist, it's amazing. Virgin, it's amazing. Where the man come out after 13 years and a do.
Yeah, Kartel life is a miracle. You see me? God in a man life. As the man say, it's a miracle. I'm still here. You see? No few got prison for 1 year and break down, 2 years, couple months and break down, lose it, last. You see me? I try to say, and this a man I come from a life sentence. You see me? Where man got to 13 years. You see me? Remember, say the man get 25 years to life, or 35, I think at 35. You see me? I say, and the man hold it, the man give it hits after hits behind bars. The man come out a road and the man are living best life. You see me? So this will show some people say, yo, don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on yourself. It no matter what you've been through or what you go through. Don't give up. It no matter what happened to you in a life, what face you in a life. You see me? Don't give up on yourself, because here what God love you one. There is always a second chance. For you and for me. You see me? I say, but when God help we, make we acknowledge God, make we give him the praise. You see me? The man I say God are the greatest. No people I say, yeah, man I say God are the greatest. I style the man I use. No, you can't say that. I always say in my video, the man know what God do for him. What God do for you. You have to remember what God do for you now. Knowledge what him do for you. You see me? I try to say, so me have to big up Vybz Kartel at all times. Same way. You see me? And big up God. Because God is the greatest for real. You see it. I'm just give me 2 cents. Alkaline are the next generation of greatness because the youth great already. And when I'm gonna say yo, Alkaline to a Vybz Kartel. Me I put Kartel in a different league. You see me I say from Alkaline. And when I go put Alkaline in a league lower than Kartel anyway, but a big man league different from a teenager league. You see me I say I'm gonna say Alkaline is a teenager in other words, but Alkaline no really depend at the level differently, but he's a great artist and a good upcoming artist. That are my thought. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Trending and trending and trending.
This is the Stepping Razor, the art of war. We have on the line here Keith Gardner. For those of you who don't know who Keith Gardner is, we soon tell you he was the Assistant Commissioner of Police, retired now Attorney of Law, Director of Security for the University of the West Indies. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Stepping Razor.
you know me go call you by your right name.
You were from there, you were on the same side of North Street as I was, just Blake Road and Tex Lane, and I'm up on you.
You serious? You serious?
But of course.
All right, go on tell the people them say, a whole time Trinity this, you know. Police that was feared by criminals all over Jamaica.
Yes, indeed.
All right, me could get into it now. Past Assistant Commissioner, you see we are going now. Is there any difference between when you was Police Commissioner and now? I mean, in terms of the criminal activities.
Difference. From time to time, you know, Muta. We used to have crime waves, right? In the earlier days, when you were going to school, you hear about a crime wave, crime escalate, and then they have measures, maybe stopgap measures, and it decreases and so on. Now you don't have crime waves anymore. You have a constant flow of crime across Jamaica, and the nature of it is of such that it diminishes even the toughest of persons, right? Attacks against young girls and the misogyny against women and the sheer brutality, you know, with which the murders are committed, beheading and that sort of thing. Yeah. So the cries of the people are out there, and it is going up to the Father, you know, and it is time for something positive to be done now to ameliorate all of this.
All right. As we are saying, as a past Assistant Commissioner, I have to make people know that, and you know that. Yes. Trinity was a feared policeman all over Jamaica. When criminal hear the name Trinity, is like, yeah, all right, no, we're not going to make him come in over here, you know, have to start on Christian. So, if in a year time, the criminal did fear the Assistant Commissioner, so it would appear to me that it's either that different breed of people, or is that there's no one there that command that fear. When them hear a commissioner name or assistant commissioner, there's no one there that command that, you know, respect and fear in the hearts of the people. Why is that?
Let me tell you something. First of all, in the 60s, and don't forget that in 1976 alone, twice as many policemen were killed than was the case last year. 13 policemen were killed. I was shot and seriously injured during that year. Yes. But the kind of criminals that you had at that time, Muta, you would have recalled Dennis Bart, Copper, Morrison, and them guys who had escaped from death row, right? And were really wreaking havoc. I've often said that Copper's mantra was that, boy, the only people in uniform that him like was doctors and nurses, right? No, honestly. But those were callous guys. But callousness wasn't the order of the day. I remember in those days I could line up 25 men, each holding out the other in the waist. And it was a state of emergency, right? Remember now. So we have special powers. And take them to station, process them. Those who were innocent, we let them go. And the hardheads will take in. I remember one of the times, you know, we had a group of men along Olympic Way, and one man was at the head of the 25, and he said, listen, I don't know about you know, but I'm going to make a dash for it as soon as we reach the corner, Mao Drive. And the man holding him said, well, listen, you can't stay there, hold on, you know, because it's a Trinity bullet, them take corner. So, you that was the legend.
It's like a missile. It's like your bullet is like a missile.
Yeah, you know, so people really, and I never really had to use deadly force at the time because the reputation assisted.
Yes,
so people hearing about this now, not going to take any chance. They're kind of different here now, whereby the people are younger, right? They weren't exposed to any nurturing, and they start off from the younger days. I don't know, Muta, to what extent you have been in the inner city, especially around Trenchtown and Rima, Wilton Gardens, and them places where you see the little girls carrying baby. Every one of them from 12 come up, 2, 3 children behind them and thing, and them don't know where them baby father is. The baby father themselves are 15, 16-year-old, and the only thing they know is about the gun and violence. You know? So it's a different kind of thing. And them call because the young man say, listen, I'll make some up tonight, you know. Right? They used to talk.
So like you're up to date, man. You're up to date, man. So like you're up to date.
I'm a man who go in Trenchtown regular, you know. I used to go down there every year and when I had my security company, I'm full of truck, buy 100-pounder flour and tin oil, big tin oil, and me and my children, them, and we go and give everybody a bag of this and let off some money and thing. I still go up there sometimes, 13th Street, 14th Street, them guys raise chicken and they don't sit down and hold a vibes. So I know what is happening.
Well, may I tell you something, Trinity? When me and you tell me hear the name Trinity, I'm afraid too. I mean, never did I do nothing.
Well, I tell you something, you know, Muta. Sometimes I have been at the stage that I am now, at my age and thing, and I look back at some of the things that I do. I say, boy, it's crazy because sometimes I chasing some gunman, and believe me, without a single thought about what can happen to me. And that was what happened to me in Rima, chasing a man and him go in a room and I start kick off every door. And by the time I reach the 3rd floor, is that open fire. And before I know it, 4 of my teeth them lick out and the man behind me get a shot in the belly and jump the 3-story floor down into the thing there. Down on the ground and thing. I had to, you know, race and hold on upon him, put him in the Jeep and drive, go Kingston Public where I pass out. So it's them kind of thing going, you know what is hurtful? Where I was shot, I was born only about 100 yards from there. You understand? So
which part that? Which part?
No, at 4th Street there, in Winter Garden. I remember I born at 1630 Trenchtown, you know. Right? And stuff. So that is the kind of situation. So these guys nowadays, as I say now, them man are voter. When them man get high, first of all, them man drink white rum straight because we used to know all the substance that them use to preserve dead. That's what the man them drink, right?
Embalming fluid.
Yeah, and them when them wrap the weed now, them wrap it in them use grabber, and some of the grabber are soaking and redering and things. So you know when the man draw that, you know, and drink the white
them feel like them invincible.
We're not talking about the use of coke and all them things there, where they might use a seasonal split. So some mad people are not taking a talk.
Them feel invincible, man.
No, a man sit down and drink, come in a bar and sit down, and him sit down and drink 2 rounds of liquor and just pop off, right? And before you know it, 4 man dead, including, and 5 man dead, including himself. So that is the kind of thing where we're looking at a man kill a man and cut off a head.
And still have him feels.
And then the little pit them have there run up and down with it. That's the kind of thing where we have, and we're talking about facts.
All right, let me ask you something now. No, you see, we say, if you was the assistant, if you was the commissioner of police now, what would you do, or what would you suggest now to the present people them who is in charge for really a long-term stemming of this crime?
I'm going to answer your question, Muta, but if you know me, I always like set the pace to answer the question.
Okay.
First of all, I must establish my qualification to answer such a question. I was Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of operations in the Commissioner's Office for Jamaica. I reported to a Deputy Commissioner, right? And on occasions, every morning we'd go up and report what transpired the night before and thing. One time I go into the Commissioner's Office, that time Mr. Forbes was Commissioner. And I asked him, I say, you send a detective to be in charge of a certain critical police area and thing. And boy, boss, you ask me my opinion, I tell you, I question that. Why? And the man reaching him drawing him right on top draw and draw out a list of every officer in the force and say, look at this. Which one would you send? And believe you me, Muta, I was quiet because the man at that point. If to come back to your question now, if I were a commissioner of police, and let me tell you this, those days are long past. Those ambitions have died. I'm no longer interested in becoming commissioner. I'm just being vociferous because I, like other members of civil society, I'm fed up with what is happening, right? Were I to become commissioner, the first task will be to clean up the force. Too often, police commissioners come in and they tell you what their doctrine is, what their mission is, and they tell you about corruption and going to clean up the force, and how many police officers you see them dismissed. So the first challenge was to target those who we have intelligence on that are involved in criminal activities, present the evidence, because listen, there's a public interest aspect of policing, where you retire a man in the public interest. And I've seen them retire deputy commissioners of police, superintendents of police, and that hasn't been done in the longest while. That kind of thing must be generated by the public service and by the police commissioner who forward the evidence to the Police Services Commission, who do not act sua motu. I've said they don't act on their own motu. The Services Commission can't say, listen, I'm going to fire Keith Gardner from the force, No, it must be activated by the commissioner who report that this man is involved in nefarious activities, And this is the evidence, that is the evidence. And I think that him should be retired in the public interest. The rule of natural justice applies. Them call you, them point out the things to you, and give you an opportunity to be heard. And make a determination. You're out. You have, of course, recourse, right? You can always apply to the Jamaica Privy Council, and the Constitution makes allowance for that and thing. And if they think that it was unfair and unjust, then they get back to work. But I think right now, too much friendship going on in this thing, and man covering up for man, and the time has come now, like for men like me to talk.
Yeah,
I just want to present one example to you.
Yeah.
I was in Era 1 as Assistant Commissioner of Police for Trelawney, St. James, Hanover, and Westmoreland, right? And I got information that a certain police officer was corrupt to the bone. I took him off frontline duties and have him doing station guard at Era 1. And I went away. I went on leave for about 6 days. And as soon as I leave, they put back the man on frontline duty. You know what happened? Police from another jurisdiction set up a roadblock and hold him with 4 illegal guns. And there's evidence to suggest that he must take it to the stone crushers. Right? He's in prison now doing about 12 years and he should be doing 24. Right? So that is the sort of thing that we need to deal decisively with. All the senior police officers who have evidence that policemen are involved in criminal activities. And usually them don't just get up today and say, I'm going to do it, Somewhere along the line, they have displayed that those traits to dishonesty. I've suggested that even at training school, you must start look out for them.
Yeah.
Right? And that is it is the matter.
All right. Trinity, a former commissioner, I think it's Dr. Carl Williams, when he was demeting office, him say one of his greatest disappointment was that him couldn't get to clean up the police force more. And what we find out since that day, we find that more people start to talk about the corruption in the police force. With the people them that talk about it from a long time, because that is why the police, the information that the police need in a certain community, them can't get it because the people them don't trust the police. And the people them have been saying that over the years. Now we say, man like you and others are come out now and say, there is a problem with the corruption of the police force. So, why is it so difficult for, like the Minister of Security and the Prime Minister and the government, why is it so difficult for them to understand that one of the chief problems, the wall that is between trying to alleviate the problem and make the problems there is that the police force need to clean up? Why is it so difficult for them to understand that? Yes.
It's not just now I talking about police corruption and leaking out against it. If you look at the Glen Archives, 1999, while I was at while I was at the Caville studying law. I wrote a damning article, deal decisively, under the caption, deal decisively with corruption. No. And that was over a decade and a half ago. Right? So it's not now. The last substantive post I held in the Jamaica Constable was the Assistant Commissioner in charge of disciplinary matters, right? So I deal with discipline when a man is accused of murder, for example, and the file is sent down to DPP, and the DPP rule that the thing is not substantiated and thing should either be sent to coroners or whatever. Or in instances where policemen are reported to be involved in criminal activities, whether it's physical force that is undue against a citizen or not. The DPP might suggest that there's no criminal charge founded, this must be dealt with departmentally. The files are sent to me, right, and I draft the suggested charges and recommend to the commissioner that these charges be made against this constable or this officer, right? I have yet to see any of them going down. Of course, against sub-officers where court of inquiries and so on are sometimes instituted. But in terms of officers going to service commission and being retired in the public interest for corrupt activity or for not doing malfeasance or misfeasance in office, I don't know of any that has been sent from the service. I remember one last one was Albert Richard, who was superintendent of detective superintendent of police, and I'm going to call the other people because they're alive. That is what we want to see. We need to send a message. The commissioner's talking about them never get any chance to do that. That is a fallacy. Right? Send the report and send the men down to the service. You know what? We're blaming the service commission. We don't give them the work to do, and then when you give them the work to do and they don't do it, they're criticized. Unless those charges are sent down to them and they're allowed to convene, because they are the ones who are responsible for appointing commissioners, for dealing with discipline in the police force and so on. If you don't give them the grounds on which to found the charges or inquire into the charges, why you turn around and blame them? It creates a misunderstanding or lack of understanding of the role of the Services Commission.
All right. Indicom. You think that Indicom is an obstacle in the work where the policeman is supposed to do?
Let me tell you something, Muta. As a crime fighter, and I was alone. My best friend, my sidekick, started in 1976. Remember, I joined in 72. When I was sent to commissioner's office and that notorious squad, I met my best friend and fearless crime fighter, Mr. Osborne, right? And we together did a lot of work. This man was never recognized. I mean, I've been given the Medal of Gallantry, Medal for Meritorious Service, and Mr. Osborne has not been acknowledged to this day by any government. The work that I have done and been given credit to, I could never have accomplished it without him. So I want to really shout him out and pay respect to him. But the point I'm making is that, things and times have changed, right? And whoever is going to be commissioner now, we have proven and demonstrated to the public that we lack the will to deal with this thing.
You're talking about the police force. You're talking about the police force.
Yes, within the force. Everybody, the squad thing. But this man is my squad, and by the time I had 10 years in the service, the whole of my squad mate had gone, so I don't really have any squad. And I was never a popular man within the force because I was a disciplinarian. If you're an officer, you must take command your division and do the things that are necessary. I was an avowed supporter of Mr. Quayle, and he's a good man. Nobody can doubt that. Nobody can say he's corrupt, right? But all I'm saying is that his Christian attitudes led him to read the Beatitudes, right? And not to be assertive in taking action. Nobody is suggesting, and those times are long gone.
Trinity. Trinity, he's a poet, man.
No, but you can't go to
Christian attitude.
The Bishop Gibson and Douglas Forrest are not their poet. I learned from people like you as well.
That's funny. Repeat that again. It's Christian attitude. Make him read the Beatitude.
Yeah, yes.
I was not able to.
Hey, Muta, you're too young to know about Bishop Lawrence. He was a corporal of police, but him try with him Bible.
Yeah.
Right? And him police trench on here alone, in uniform. And when him catch you doing something wrong, you know, at that time, ganja was mandatory, 18 months if you caught smoking it. Him not going to lock you up. Him call you and read the scripture to you and make you say the Lord's Prayer. Sometimes on the knee. Nothing was more embarrassing than that. You understand?
That's
but
funny.
those times are long gone. We need God, yes. But as I often say, we're in a room. We're like saints in a room. Darkened room. I will sit down there and pray till you sweat for God to send man of light from heaven. When all that was needed to be done was for one of us to reach up and just hit the switch and turn on the light. We need a commissioner to hit the switch. Right? Somebody who don't have any friend and in the squad with them can go to and say, well, the boss, I've sinned and give me a chance. Right? These are serious times that call for serious measures. And I don't see anybody. People might be upset with me. Yes, there are some younger men coming up, some men and women coming up who are equal to the task, but they are not yet ready. They are young. They are brilliant police officers. Yesterday, I listened to the swearing on of some police, 200-300 police officers, and listened to the diction of the officers from the training school, and I was shocked. They sound like academics, right? Very, very brilliant, very, very articulate. And I know that these people are up and coming, and I'm hoping for the day that they'll take charge. But right now, neither the first or second tier I'm seeing anybody that have the will to take on what is happening in here.
But you know, I know. Say you stay far from the Ministry of Security.
No. Listen. You see, from 1993, you know that I was Siaga's bodyguard for 8.5 years, right? You see, from Colonel Macmillan called all the policemen that they serve labor rights and all those that they serve PMP, because I'm smart, you know. What he did was to send out to the GLP and say, give me a list of all the policemen who are political. And him sent to the PMP and asked them to give them all list of those who were political. So all the so-called JLP policemen and all the so-called PMP policemen were called down to Ellison Road at a gigantic meeting. And Colonel Macmillan said, listen, I believe in second chance. I don't know whether what is being said here is true, but I have a list of all of the policemen that they say are political. Some of you appear on 2 lists. Right? And the 2 lists. It's either they are not political or perhaps they are freelancing, right? But you see, I was told that in 1993, you don't catch me getting involved in any kind of politics or associated with politicians. Not that they are not good, decent politicians, but I don't want my name to be associated. I'm a political orphan. I learned my lesson then, and from that on, I was a reformed police officer. Not that I'm working with the Prime Minister for the 8.5 years we were involved in, but we were seen or perceived to be. You can't beat perception, okay?
I know you take sleep on my
I need a turnaround.
Well, all right, the last question, you know. The so-so movement and the state of emergency. How you view them?
Yeah, but hold on. Muta, you don't let me answer the question you asked about
the minister, but you see a talk and you can't clear a Siaga.
No, in the
it come like you move around.
No, I'm not moving around. Let me tell you something. You must have some checks and balances, right? Where the social conscience is not within the organization, you must have a watchdog. And I remember for years, the only watchdog we had was Ronnie Tweet and Public Eye. You understand? You must have somebody where you think about before and think of the consequences of your action before you engage in it. And the Jamaican human rights people were there, right? Flo O'Connor and others to keep us in check. When you have crime fighters, it's all good and well people talk about death squads, you know. But you kill a man, right, who, you know, is a murderer and maybe him shoot at you and whatever. But if you continue to do it, the first time it's very difficult, the next time it becomes easier, right? And it is easy to fall into that abyss. So when you start killing innocent people, what are you going to do to the weakness? When you start kill criminal elements or you start murder them. What you going to do to the innocent man who's a witness, a bystander? You're going to kill him too? You set off a chain reaction. And that is why I believe there are some people who have demonstrated over time by their vicious and villainous actions that they are not worthy to remain among us. They are civil members of the society. But it can't be, I don't believe in either state-sanctioned killings or in the death squad kind of thing.
But we see,
one point that is needed to be made, Muta, if you allow me to say it. You see, when we clean up our act, when we clean up our act in the Jamaica Constabulary Force and increase our capacity to investigate and present cases before the court and secure convictions, where are you going to put the prisoners? Because we're against building prisons.
Maybe I have to go back to Britain for building prisons.
1976. What is going to happen? Where are you going to put them?
We have to call upon Britain for building the prison.
Well, all right, Muta. These are food for thoughts, you know. Because we have to think ahead. We have to think outside of the box. But you're asking me a last question now. What do you think about Zoso?
Zoso and the state of emergency.
You know what I mean? Severe circumstances call for severe measures. And I don't even want to say severe. You see, Muta, what is happening? We know that we know about the social contract, right? When as societies develop and we recognize the necessity for our family and our property to be protected, it was necessary to put the strong people in charge of protecting the village, to protecting the community, and so on. And a price had to be paid. Those of us who in those ancient times used to go in the fields and gather or plant or hunt saw the necessity to protect them against marauders, right? People who invaded and took away the women and children. And there was a cost to pay for that. So those of us who went into the field left something for the ones who remain at home as payment. And as we develop now, we know that we have to give up certain social rights, right? To have policing in order to secure. That is the price we pay for our democracy or freedom. So now, with all the murders, that couldn't be allowed to continue unabated. So the little inconvenience that many of us face, right? The curtailment of our rights, freedom of movement, freedom of association and all that. The sooner we get the thing together, with everybody jumping on board and supporting instead of some staying one side and criticizing. The sooner this thing get done,
better.
You know?
Well, give thanks,
it's a pleasure talking to you, bro.
I know a whole heap of people, but I can tell you something. A whole heap of people listen to you and say, we never know the Trinity is still alive.
Trinity alive and well. And when I'm gone, long after I'm gone, the legend will remain.
All right, of course. I tell you, as a youth,
I'm always a fear man, and listen to me. I have not gone around and fracture relationship between decent people. My target was always the dangerous and vicious gunmen. People might talk about, well, this one take this life and take that life. It's 5 different times I go near death.
Where you get the word Trinity? Where you get the name Trinity from? There are 3 different places one time.
No, both I know why already. That comes from the spaghetti movie. It points my death. People used to say that I'm a marksman. I don't know how true that is, but it comes from that.
All right, sir. All right, give thanks.
Give thanks. Thank you for having me, brother.
Yeah, man, I did. That was Keith Gardner, man. Elias Trinity. Assistant Commissioner of the Police, retired attorney of law, director of security for the University of the West Indies, giving his really experience and views about things and times and where are going at so now as it relates to the traumatic experience that Jamaica got through.